Yay! Welcome, everyone. We are live this morning. I'm not going to keep you long because we have Joaquin right after. So I'm remembering that today because I know I get wound up with things. But today, remember to breathe. Remember to breathe today as you go out into the world. There's a difference between breathing and having to breathe because some of us hold our breath and we don't notice. I've told you this before. Pay attention. If you look, you'll realize that you're holding your breath in some instances. It's very intriguing because you're busy doing something mentally. I'm telling you, you're busy doing something mentally. Well, is it a memory that you're doing mentally, or are you being deliberate? Because if you're deliberate, you're breathing, just so we're aware. But if you are in your memories and you've lost track of time, lost track of yourself, chances are you're holding your breath. You see, that's what happens to us when we fret and we worry. We're gnawing on the inside of our cheek and we're just there. But the thing to remember, because it's not that you get what you want, you get what you plant, which means what have you planted? What did you say that you were? Right? And I know sometimes it may be challenging because we have spent so much time um, as humanity and learning how to be human. Right? Neville says we're fast asleep. But I know what past disappointments can do when we remember them. Remember, Neville says when you regret, you reinfect yourself, which means what you're replanting the seeds of regret, thereby you have to reap them again. So take a moment throughout the day when you catch yourself sliding into a state of worry, catch yourself. And remember, you only have to catch yourself a few times. Why? Because you're creating a new habit. You're creating the habit of ease in your life, in spite of everything that's going on around you. Trust me, I'm hearing the same news as you. I'm seeing the same things. Of course, we're in this world, but remember, we're not of it. What do you mean we're not of it? Because we think differently now. We live our lives from the place of I am versus, oh, look, just little old me. So when you catch yourself holding your breath, well, that's why you're worrying about something, trying to figure it out. We don't have, listen, I had to tell myself that again this morning. Girl, you don't have to figure it out. You just got to state what it is. You know the effect. God's not sitting there saying, how am I going to make this happen? No, God just says, it's done. God just says, it is done. It is finished, is what God says. So then, why am I sitting here worrying? But here's the thing. I've worried for a few decades. I was just about to tell you how many decades, but I won't. But I've worried for many a decade. So then to hear, wait a minute, you don't have to worry? Yes, you don't have to worry. You don't have to fret. You don't have to hold your breath for anything. You claim it. You claim it. Oh, but I'm not so sure. I still have doubts. That's normal. It's normal. Remember, we've been living a particular way for a long time. So it's okay to have a doubt, or two, or three. But when you begin to commune with your own heart on your bed, and you begin to practice. Now, why would you practice? You're practicing because you are saying to yourself, wait, wait, I believe something different now. I've learned something different. I'm applying something different, and I'm living by something different. What is that thing I'm living by? I'm living by imagining creates reality. I'm living by the principles of creation, the laws of creation. I'm living that way now. So, because I'm in that state of living that way now, I have to act according to the state that I'm in. What does my state feel like? Well, I feel excited and eager because I've learned a new way and I'm implementing it every day and I'm watching my life change. Even in the most of mundane ways, I'm watching myself change. Okay, well, I'm going to lean on that side then, that I'm watching things change. And the only thing I did was change me. So if I changed me and I'm watching things change, then I'm the instigator of that change. I'm the cause of that change. Okay, I can live with that. I'm the cause of that change. That's how we commune with ourselves on our beds. You commune with yourself. Think about how else we speak to ourselves on any given day, and we don't even notice what we're saying to ourselves. Better yet, we don't even notice how what we're saying to ourselves makes us feel. We just slide into that habitual mood that we're so used to being in that we're blind to it. We just act it out. And you know you're acting it out because you say, why? Why am I doing it again? We are doing it again because we've allowed ourselves to fall into a mood unchecked. We fall into a mood. Listen, it is very easy to fall into a mood. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. See, the mood changes just like that. It's that quick. But if you stop and you breathe and you focus and you say, whoa, wait a minute. What mood am I in again? This is not the mood I want. Oh, so if that's not what you want, which mood do you want? And the moment you begin to feel the mood that you want, you're in it. Don't waste time in that small sliver of space beating yourself up or complaining about, oh my God, I did it again. Why is it happening to me? Don't waste time doing that. As soon as you catch yourself in the undesirable place, commune with yourself and say, hey, wait a minute. That's not where I want to be. I want to be over here in this mood because this mood feels like this. And you allow that new mood to envelop you because you step into it and you breathe. You just breathe life into it. Because if you are not in the mood is not alive. If you are not in the mood is not alive. And you know what I'm talking about. Don't pretend that we're coy. And we're like, hey, I don't know what you mean. Of course you do. The moment you remove yourself from the mood, it dies because you are life. Oh, yes. So remember today, my beautiful friends, that we breathe. We inhale and we exhale. Why do we inhale and exhale? Because God is within us. It is God that is alive within us. And whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Don't tune yourself out now that I said God. It's just that we've spent so much time hearing that God is a man in the sky with a big stick. I did say big stick. And he is waiting for me to mess up so he can hit me over the head with said big stick. And he tells me, if you don't do what I do, I'm going to cast you in a pit of hell. That's what we've learned. And because we've learned that, we now begin to fear God. Hello. What does scripture always say? It says, fear not. Scripture says, fear not. There's a difference, right? God is not a man that he should lie. Think about that. We've only heard what we think God should be, when in actuality, we all know who and what God is. Every single one of us knows. But hear me when I tell you, we all know who and what God is. But the reason we doubt it is because somebody along the way tainted God for you. Nobody wakes up and says, I am an atheist. There is no God. Nobody wakes up and says that. Because the very fact that you can inhale and exhale is telling you that there is one. We have no idea. Some of us are born and we're bald when we're born. And then some of us are born with a full head of hair. But not one of us can dictate. Oh, but that's genetics, Angela, is it? So where did they get theirs from? Oh, their parents, and where did their parents get theirs from? Their parents, and where did their parents get theirs from? Hear what I'm saying? We don't have that control. Right? So that's telling us right there and then, you put a seed in the ground and that bad boy grows, and one watermelon that you plant will give you well over 1,000 seeds. Right? Just one. But you planted 4 watermelon seeds, 4 single watermelon seeds you planted. But yet one watermelon will grow. Right? Now the vine, only one. If only one watermelon grows out of the 4, you now have 1,000 more seeds. So now imagine when you've got 20 melons per one vine. You got 20,000 seeds. What am I trying to tell you this morning? I'm trying to tell you, you have no explanation for why that happens, but you are never left without. Ever. You see, so we all know that there's something. We know that there is, but it is only somebody else's opinions that has tainted it for us. Do not allow the opinions of someone to taint what God is. Whether or not you believe in God is irrelevant. It doesn't stop God from being. It doesn't stop God from being. Well, why not? As we read in the lecture last night, God did not put a piece of himself within you or me. God put all of himself in you. God put all of himself in me. So on Twitter this morning, Big Shay or Big Shy, Symmetric, Beloved, and Shay, God is within each and every one of you. So wait, if God didn't put a piece of himself in you, but all of himself in you, then all of you here on Twitter this morning, oh, you don't have a piece of God, you have all of God. But then you go over to fan base, 16. Oh, incoming bird song maybe. 16? There's not 16 gods. There's only one God. YouTube, there's only one God. There is one God. That's what he keeps saying. If you listen to his intonation, he's going to tell you. So this morning, if you are God, and I know that's hard to grasp and get your head around, just breathe. You'll be all right. Yes, honey, I know there's one God, baby. So when you know there's one God and it's you, so you walk down the street and you see George, but there's only one God. Only one. So what are you going to do with that information? You see, test it. Because think about it. When somebody says to you, oh, you're such a loser. Oh, you're so ugly. Oh, I see it in Reddit all the time. These people post these pictures and say, oh, my friends think I'm ugly. What do you think? And I'm like, whew. Sometimes I want to write under there. I don't care what your friends think. What do you think you are? You see, we allow other people's opinions to make us walk around in a state of what? A state of worry and fretting. Do not allow that to happen to you anymore. Never again. And if you catch yourself allowing it, you pull yourself up and you say, hey, there is one God and I'm it. So let me see what I'm capable of doing. So if I'm God and God doesn't worry, and I always get more, well then, I get abundance, don't I? So how many seeds can I plant? Because that's going to bring in my harvest. Get up every day. And when you look in that mirror, he keeps saying there is one God. That's all I can hear when he sings. But when you look in that mirror, right? You're not looking in the mirror to see if your hair is in place. You're not looking in the mirror for that purpose. You are looking in the mirror as the reminder of what you are, the greatness that you are, the power that you are. And when you remember that there is only one God, you will not take advantage of another, because you'll know you're taking advantage of yourself. Oh, that seems hard, doesn't it? But it isn't. It just takes a moment of time. Just breathe. And it will all come together for you. Really and truly. If you catch yourself saying, oh my God, what a coincidence. If you catch yourself saying that throughout the day, I want you to laugh. Coincidence. I just made that. That's not coincidence. That's what you say. Because it wasn't a coincidence. It is you. You are wielding the power, but you just don't know it. So how about we practice? And what are we practicing? We practice catching the mood. The mood. What mood do you want to be in? Right? Catch that one. Catch that mood. What mood do you want to be in? Well, when you catch it, remember, now you got to play the part of the mood that you're in. If we take our time to commune with our own hearts upon our own beds, we will sort this out. And there's, you know how some people say you had an aha moment? A light went on? Well, that was you. That was you shaking yourself awake. Listen, it's one of the most beautiful things I see and I hear on a daily basis with my rooster. He always shakes himself before he sings. He rouses himself to act. So now, If he rouses himself to act and he's just, quote unquote, simply a rooster, which he isn't just merely a rooster, what do you think you do? You rouse yourself to act also. Yes. So this morning, as we go out into the world today, remember to breathe. Everything unfolds according to the seed that it is. Everything bears fruit after its own kind. It is scripture. It is law. As within, so without. As above, so below. Every cause has its effect. Every effect is cause. It can't unfold in any other way. So if you are bold enough to rouse yourself and say, wait a minute, I am? Me? I am? Once you begin to do that, you'll begin to see a side of yourself that you've not seen before, which is who you really are. And even though it may appear to be far-fetched, listen, remember that saying? People say, oh, it's impossible until it's done. Right? People say, oh, but that's impossible to do until somebody does it. What's the difference between the person who says it's impossible and the person who does it? Just their mind. Just their mind. When they say, well, why? Don't ask why. Ask why not. Why can you not do it? Why not? You get up and you rouse yourself. You shake yourself. Listen, even if you've read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, if you've ever read his Emerald Tablets, that's what he tells you. He tells you to shake yourself loose. From what? It's scripture. To shake, you rouse the self. You rouse the self to act. But you'll notice that that arousal starts within where? Within you. It can't come from the outside. To be aroused, to arouse yourself starts within your own mind. And we act according to how we are aroused, what mood we are in. So today, my beautiful friends, remember that always as you go through the day. Just breathe. Bob Marley said everything's going to be all right because everything is all right. How do we know? Because the law has a very specific rhythm and pattern. Almost as if somebody said, well, familiarity brings comfort. Almost. Well, when the thing is predictable, you know what to expect. Oh? Well, plant tomatoes. You're expecting tomatoes, aren't you? But if you get strawberries, you might have planted the wrong seeds. Might have. Of course you did. So you see, the rhythm and the pattern that is life must unfold. Your only job is to get into the mood, because the mood will make you act. You don't have to figure out what to do. Get in the mood and you will do it. Oh, you know what I'm saying to you. Get into the mood and the mood dictates how you act. So do you have to figure out what to do? No. Get into the mood. Select your mood. Mood selected. Select it. And from that mood, remember, the mood is the seed. And the seed can only bear fruit after its own kind. If it happens that way with papayas, it happens that way with a good attitude, or a bad attitude, or an indifferent attitude. So you see, You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to sort it out. You just got to get into the mood and you'll know exactly what to do because the mood will dictate what you do and how you do it. Hmm? Now, I've already said hello to everybody here on Twitter. I love you all. Who's here on YouTube this morning? Sonia, Aina, and the others who've not made themselves known in the chat. I see all y'alls. It is good to see you. Fan base. Ooh, fan base is bumping today. Who's in fan base? Happy is here. Hey. Butterfly is here. Joaquin is here. And listen, I'm not going to keep you long because we have Joaquin's room on fan base afterwards. Now, if you're not on fan base, you don't know what fan base is. Look it up in the App Store. Fan base. It's purple. It's an F. Fan base. Check it out. Fawn is here. Moon is here. Ah, Sheikah is here. Hello, beautiful.
Hi, love. It's been so long. I'm glad to be back.
I know. I was just going to say, stranger. It's good to see you. Mansa is here. KZ is here. Listen, again, if I didn't mod you and you are regular and you're a regular moderator, that's because I've been busy talking. I can't see you. KZ, I see you. Flo smiles. Afternoon Delight is in the house. Ali is in the house. Hooker Brother Up is in the house. Miss B. And I did say phone. The screen just switched. People just moved about the screen. So Sherry Butter, she's here. Oracle Treehouse, I am, is in the house. Listen. Y'all mean so much to me. There were some testimonies last night too, which reminds me, we got to have a new testimony live stream. You don't always have to tell people your business because some of us are more private than others. But last night when I am said, listen, I lost something. But then I remembered who I was. And it showed up. See how it is? And when somebody says to you, Kelly was here, she said last night, she always feels like it's confirmation. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm just reflecting you. When people say, Angela, I changed my life. I would have showed, I'm not going to say your exact words because I would have showed myself. But I've changed. You see, we seem to think that creation is just about big things. There are no big things. There are no little things. That's just perception. What did you create? We're supposed to have an abundant life. Right? Now, good, bad, or indifferent, it's abundant. So choose the right mood and the abundance naturally flows out of that mood. Just like the papaya, when you cut it open, there was only one sapling planted for papaya, but you cut that bad boy open and you can't even count how many seeds are in there. Life is abundant. Life is abundant. So don't be afraid to exercise your power. What is your power? Your power to create. If you say, I need something different in my life. What? Okay, sure. What? What's the mood of that something that you want? Because remember, cause and effect and cause, you can do reverse. You can use the experience, the way it makes you feel, and you will bring about the impetus. You will bring about the thing that causes you to have that experience. Or if you know the cause, you can bring about the effect. So either way, if you look at the beauty of the law, you're never stuck. If you have an undesirable experience, what experience would you prefer? See that and call it. How do you call it? By getting into the mood of it. And when you get into the mood of it, sustain that mood. But Angela, I can't see the thing yet. Neither did the bamboo farmer. Remember, it takes bamboo 4 years to burrow down before anything comes up on the surface. Shoot, 4 years? My question always will be, who was the person that figured that out? Now, that is tenacity if I ever could say so. 4 years, you're just watering and fertilizing and you've seen no evidence? That's because bamboo burrows downward to the depths. Why? Because it is anchored. When that wind blows, bamboo bends. Why? Because it's anchored and it is flexible. It didn't just become flexible. It burrowed itself. It anchored itself. So be like bamboo. I know Bruce Lee says be like water. Be like water, yes, take on the shape of anything. Embody the state or mood you want to be in. That's water. But you see, bamboo? Be like bamboo also. Be rooted firmly in your foundation of what it is you know to be true of yourself. There's no other way to be. Even if you think you're the least of the least, shoot, you're firmly rooted in that. Because that's the only way to be firmly rooted. We can't not be firmly rooted. Just choose what you want to be firmly rooted in, and you'll be firmly rooted, because that is the nature. So be like bamboo and be firmly rooted, so that when life happens, because it happens, we bend and we move. We don't break under the pressures of life. See? Everything around us is a teacher, if we would but see it as such. The rose, so beautiful and fragrant, but why thorns? Really? Why thorns? Well, the things, the insects that help that rose to pollinate need something by which to hold on to as they climb. You know, you've been rock climbing, and you see how the little thingies are staggered. Well, so are the thorns. They're not bad, the thorns. They serve a purpose. So you see, give yourself the things to pull yourself up with. You pull yourself up with your faith in what you know yourself to be. And you move through the world. You move up. Not up as in with the Joneses. Up as in you keep practicing. You master creation. So you see, whenever you go around outside in this world today, whatever your eye beholds, know that it is reminding you of what you are and what you're capable of. Oh, yes, it most certainly is. Listen, one of my favorite things is bird watching. And when you see the hawk, listen, any other bird, they just don't move as flawlessly as the hawk does. You know, the eagle, she's in a class by herself. But that hawk, the way she glides or she hovers on the current, because she's sure of herself, she just sits there and she watches. And when the air moves, she moves. See, everything teaches you. Be patient. Observe. That's what you're learning. So don't judge what's happening on the outside. Use it to see what you are thinking about on the inside. Don't let me preach, because you know how I get around here. Hey, Story. Oh, hello, Cedric, darling. So don't let me preach. Let me get the bowl this morning. And when we hear the bowl, you might get birdsong again. I don't know. He's on snooze. When you hear the bowl this morning, right? What mood do you want to embody? What mood do you want to embody? Well, as you hear the bowl, bring the mood forward and embody it. And how long can you wear it? How many times throughout this day can you wear that mood? Because you see, the longer you wear that mood, the more anchored you become in it. Oh, and the more anchored you become in that mood that you wear, well, then everything bears fruit after its own kind. So then you'll know for sure what you will experience based upon the mood that you're in. So bring it up and immerse yourself in that mood. Bask in that mood. Oh, because it is beautiful. Let me get the bowl for us this morning. So that we can. Oh, gotta go back and get it. So just take your time with it and bring that mood up, because what you're doing is you're practicing. You're practicing bringing up a mood at will, so that if you encounter a mood that is unsavory, you know what to do to get the right mood. Why? Because you practice. That's why. So don't wait for quote unquote big things and then you're trying to practice. No, practice every day with the mundane, because we live in the mundane. We do the same things the same way every time. So perfect that, and you'll see how beautiful you grow and blossom from there. Can't find them keys? Use the law. Where are my keys? Show me. You'll see your keys. What should I make for dinner? Well, what are you in the mood for? See, we are governed by the mood. We act according to the mood. Anyhow, let's hear the bowl, and you call up the mood that is most desirable to you and see how long throughout the day you can sustain that mood. And then see how beautiful it is for yourself. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, boot camp, April the 27th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring a friend. You pay $35, they pay $35. If you come on your own, it's $50. That link, if you can't find it on Twitter, slide into my DMs and I'll send it to you. Pre-order your Oracle cards, your Hermetic Oracle cards. If you can't find that on Twitter, slide into my DMs. We only need 60 to go to print. And we are at 15. So those 15 people have been waiting for quite some time. So let's get the rest of those in so that we can print. And for Barbados, if you have not submitted your reservation money, that deadline is Monday. So let's get the ball rolling on that one. Those are the announcements. And also, right after on Fanbase, Joaquin, and we will be going to his room because you know he's got some awesome news to share with us. Beautiful work he does. Anywho, I'll see you tonight for the lecture at 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Fanbase. Much love to each and every one of you today. Much, much love.